So now if we click play and we watch the top left hand corner, we can see that as time progresses, our hunger drops down lower and lower. And then if we come over to our food item here and we walk over it, our food increases, as the reason why is because we ate. What is up, you guys? Welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing how to add the actual functionality to our progress bars for our hunger and our stamina. So if we play here, you can see up in the top left corner we have hunger and we have stamina, but they are not decreasing nor they are increasing. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be fixing that. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your HUD widget. And once we are in here, as you can tell, we have our two bars set up. And if we come down here, and we were messing around with this before where we like increased and decreased the percentage depending on like if the person is gaining food such as that or if they're losing food such as that. But basically what we're adding now is we're going to be adding a binding to this. So you're going to want to go down to progress, if we can find it here. Here it is. And within here, you're going to have the binding option. So just right click and create a binding. Alright, so now that that's done, we are going to want to start adding in our functionality process. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cast to third person character or whatever the character is that you are using. And then from as third person character, we are just going to want to get our hunger and get it that we had previously set up in the other video. So the next thing we are going to want to do is for our object, we are just simply going to get player character. And this is because it's actually going to be the withdrawing from the parent. And then from over here for our return value, we're going to want to do a float divided by float. And we're just simply going to connect these two in and they will automatically transition. And then we're going to be dividing by 100 as that is what our food is set at. And if we just compile and save and go back to our menu here, when we play, when we watch our tick, as you can see, it is going down and then increases and increases. Now we got to flip-flop this around, as you can see, because it's actually adding to the hunger, not subtracting from the hunger. So let's fix that real quick. So the best way to do that is if you go back to your HUD and select your bar. Right here where under progress it says bar fill type, we are going to want to go from right to left as it's decreasing. So if we compile and save, if we play here, we can clearly see that it is ticking. It's going to be dropping. Now, of course, you are going to want to play around with that and mess around depending on like what looks best for your game. This is just to simply show you the functionality of it. So what we can do just to make this a little bit more pleasing is if we actually rotate this here. To do that, just scroll down to render transformation and then we'll just put our angle rotation back. Now, like I said, this all really depends on you specifically and like your game, how it's looking, what you're wanting to use for your bars. This is just simply for functionality. The only reason I'm doing this is just to make it a little bit more pleasing on the eyes for the tutorial. So if we just play, we can see that once again our hunger is increasing, and the reason we have to do that is because we flip this now. We are going to have to go back and once again go from left to right. Compile and save, and we play. And when it ticks, you can see that it's dropping down. And this color right here is just simply the tint that we had set from the previous video, if you guys remember that, which is this right here. So basically adjust it accordingly that best fits you, yada yada yada. But that is basically how you apply that concept there. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is open up your third person character BP. And then for our delay, we're going to set this to 1 and our subtraction process to 5. And the reason for this is, as you could tell, the first time it was really jumpy and there were big chunks being taken. But as you can see now, I did edit this a little bit more just for you guys. But as it's dropping down, the food bar is slowly dropping down as well. And all I did to mess around with that is I just went to the opacity and I just adjusted it accordingly to get that. So that's what I did off screen. I haven't done anything else. But do make sure that you adjust these to what is best for you to slow down, so that way it's a little bit more of a smoother transition. As you can tell, 95, 85, and the bar continues to slowly drop. So now if I go back in, we can see that the print string is popping up, and we don't really need that anymore because our bar is actually showing us that that's happening. So what you're going to want to do is just go back into third person BP, and then just simply delete your print strings here. And if you compile and play, you can see that the hunger is slowly dropping here as such without the print string. And then if we want to refill our food, just run over our item, and as you can tell, it picks up the food bar again. And if we just simply step on it again, our food increased, and we'll continue to do so, and so on. So yes, that is basically how you set up the functionality for our hunger food bar. Like I said, this is a tutorial based on like the fundamentals and the concepts. When it comes to the design and actually creating the bars and what way they're decreasing, that is entirely up to you, because it's unfair for me to show you step by step how to do that, because it takes away from your creativity and restricts you. Please do not rely on these videos for design aspects and design purposes, because as you've seen previously, we ran into the issue of it going in the wrong direction. That's just because I am not paying attention to design detail. I'm paying attention to make sure that you are really understanding how to make these nodes and connections work for you to actually get the features that you want for your horror game.